You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
Week number 2 of the OHL in 60 podcast for the 2025-2026 season. Back with you. I'm Reece Doumani along with Colin Ward, and it's a fiery episode, you could say. We're getting fired up pregame because the Broncos lost.
We got to start with that?
Brandon's Falcons lost. The Jays are celebrating making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not winning the playoff
game.
It's
free falling from Mars, and
the Yankees don't have gloves in the infield.
I think that's it. I think that's all we were ranting about beforehand. There were a couple other things that we can't share because this is a PG show, but it's kind of PG. PG-12, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We're not good for ranking stuff, so let's say PG-12. But yeah, we're off to a fiery start here for episode 2, and we've got a couple of shout outs off the top of the show, of course, so we'll get to that, but we'll kind of run through what we've got for you in the next 60 minutes here on the OHL in 60 podcast. It includes, of course, headlines from this past week in the Ontario Hockey League, and there's quite a few to go through. As you see them popping up on your screen here on the YouTube channel for the Armchair GM Sports Network. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Whether you're watching on video, I feel bad for you that you have to look at us. For anyone listening on any audio platform, welcome in as well. OHL headlines from week number 1. We've got FloHockey. Colin Ward is, what's up, man?
If they're watching on video, I got the light figured out this week. I got the light.
Took long enough.
Yeah, I know. I got the old duct tape right out here.
Delhi. Oh man.
Delhi, Ontario.
Jeez. So we're gonna go through FloHockey. We've seen some things. It's week 1. Again, we're not really gonna get too deep into it. It is week 1. Probably gonna be some bugs that have to be fixed. That is life here in 2025. So we'll just kind of touch on that, what we thought about a few things. Players of the week were announced on Monday, so we'll go through that. And then we're going to talk about a couple of barns that have a lot of history in them. The Kitchener Memorial Auditorium had their renovation completed in the offseason. Colin Ward was there opening night against the Bulldogs. And he'll share his thoughts and opinions on the new media room and how awesome he thinks the new decor is, and that he almost became a felon because he wanted to steal something from it. So we'll touch on that, of course.
There's a Bulldogs logo. It's a great
PMC. It is. Yeah. I can't wait for the photos. I was not there. Work, But PMC not up to par. And I can tell you that the city of Peterborough did come to St. Catharines earlier on this year to get a look at the Meridian Center for the possibility of a new building in Peterborough. So we'll get to that when we get to that topic. Those two will kind of be grouped together. And then we didn't do it last week. We slacked a little bit. 2 teams fighting for the Memorial Cup next year. It's Kitchener and Guelph. Who's going to get it? We're going to debate who we think might be a better host. I think both will be fine. But who do we think will get it? We'll touch on that. The Owen Sound attack have 3 good goaltenders. What the heck are they going to do? And we're going to apologize to a certain family for Owen Sound and their third netminder that had to lead them into the first weekend of the regular season, so we'll touch on that. And then Overreaction Tuesday here on the OHL in 60 podcast. It's something we do quite a bit throughout the early stages of the year, every year that we've had this show. So Overreaction Tuesday will be taking place to wrap things up. And of course, the power rankings through week 1. They're power rankings. We'll get to that later. So before we get started, though, we're going to give a shout out to one of our buddies, one of our colleagues, Dylan Baker, the new voice of the Guelph Storm on the radio side, CJOY. He made his debut this past weekend with a couple of contests for the Guelph Storm. So just want to give a huge congratulations to him. Worked hard for sure. 19-year-old to get a gig in the OHL is
big time.
Difficult to say the least. So we want to give a shout out to Dylan Baker. Called a couple of games with him, the London Majors. We were joined by Easton Cowan, one of those games when he came back from Leafs camp, he came back to London and then was going to Leafs camp, but he had stopped by Labatt Memorial Park for a game and he came up to the booth and we had a half an inning with him. So Baker, a professional, doesn't get any better than that. Did a phenomenal job with Kamoka before leaving for the Guelph Storm. So just want to give a shout out to him because that's pretty cool for Dylan Baker to get that at 19 years old.
Yeah, he's above his years, that's for sure. He's definitely not a normal 19-year-old. That's for sure.
Yeah, big time. So congratulations, Dylan. That's very well deserved. And then I don't know if we've got a photo for my boy Alec or not, but Alec Murray. Sorry, my mistake. Jeez, should have done my research before. Alec Murray he made his OHL debut as the host of the Niagara Ice Dogs game on Sunday against the Sudbury Wolves for their home opener. So Alec Murray, shout out to you. We're champs with the Welland Jackfish. He's now a backup, I guess you could say, a fill-in for Niagara Ice Dogs broadcast. So give a shout out to Alec Murray for that one as well. But let's get into some of the headlines, Colin. There's a couple of things to talk about. Vancouver Canucks were busy with their OHL talent on Monday because Gabriel Sherratt and Riley Patterson have signed their 3-year entry-level contracts, and huge congratulations to them.
For sure.
Into week 2 of the OHL season, you have to imagine they're going to be back anytime soon now with their respective clubs. But congratulations to both of them, and Vancouver coming to the O for some talent, getting a couple of guys signed there.
Yeah, I'm obviously familiar with both guys, but especially Gabriel Sherratt. Patterson, what he did in Barrie, now going over to Niagara for the opportunity he's going to get there in St. Catharines is huge. With the Ice Dogs, he's going to be a leader there. He's going to be a point-a-game guy. You hope he tends to have a solid year there in Niagara. But Gabriel Sherratt, the year he had in the development in his career so far, short career, has been incredible. Yep. I remember watching him in his draft year in Brantford with the 99ers program with Lucas Carmiris, Tommy Carmiris, Braden McCallum, Merrick Van Acker from the Delhi, Ontario, along with Braden McCallum. I had to shout those guys out. Great city guys like myself. Gabriel Sherratt, the improvement in his career has been incredible. He was that guy on the lot on that team that was under. He had to drive the line. Like, he had to be the guy that's in the forecheck all the time, really be the physical guy with those guys, like with Carmiris or with Van Acker. He had to be in the mix with those guys. Like, he was always in the middle of things. Such an effective player in that role, and he comes up, and all of a sudden he gets bigger and stronger. The relative of Ben Sherratt, Detroit Red Wing. He gets bigger and he gets stronger, and you saw it last year in his draft year with Brampton. You saw his ability on the puck, how hard he was at times on the puck in a limited role. Sometimes he had different roles with Brampton all year. One night he's on the 4th line, the next he's on the 1st line. Like, he had different roles every game. You didn't know what role he was going to have, but he did a good job in every role he was in. Huge to get the contract right away too. That's exciting. So congrats to both those guys. But Gabe Sherratt, what he brought to the table in his career so far, so excited to see what he can be. He's going to be one of those guys that goes in the NHL and he's going to have a really he's going to have a really good career on the 3rd, 4th line, killing penalties, big guy, killing penalties, net front, possibly on the power play. I'm really excited to see what he can do. That's huge.
Yeah. So Patterson's already been moved. He was moved from Barrie to Niagara, of course. With Brampton not expected to do a ton this season in the Eastern Conference and in the Ontario Hockey League? Is Sherrod a name that you could see moving clubs, whether
It's hard to
it's
say.
tomorrow, whether it's next month, deadline, whatever the case might be? Do you think that's a name that James Richmond will be hearing on phone calls come the trade deadline?
Well, if I'm Sherrod, I love the situation that I'm in, to be honest. I mean, Brampton, they work hard. And I think that where Sherrod is there, he's going to have an opportunity to be a guy. He's going to have the chance to be a full-time number one guy, right? They shipped out Lucas Carmeris. They shipped out some guys, and Sherrod's going to have the opportunity now to be a guy that is going to be able to get points. For the first time in his career, he's going to be one of the focal points on an offensive part of the script of a team. So that's huge. And I can't wait to see what he can do. And obviously he's going to be the leader on guys that are going to work hard on that team.
Next headline, the OHL Battle of the Border returning in 2026. I was fired up when I saw this one, but the best under 16 AAA teams from both sides of the bridge will go head-to-head at the OHL Battle of the Border at the WFCU Center, of course, home of the Windsor Spitfires. Go over the article. There's a brief press release about it. Stay tuned for more updates for the event, of course, but
that's
Battle
cool.
of the Border. I mean, I'm kind of pumped for that. Of course, in 2019, the United States was the successful group, I guess you could say, in that tournament, 54-51 in a showcase. So, I mean, Hunter Brustevich was there, Coach Adelic, Max Nemesnikov, Isaiah George, Rucker McGroarty was there, Frank Nazar, part of that as well. Like, those are names. So, like, this is pretty exciting. We're gonna have to wait a year, but to have this back is gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this. It goes hand in hand, right, with the CHL versus NDP or NDP team. Like, it kind of makes sense. Like, it's cool to have this back. Great spot in Windsor for it. I'm excited to see. I'm really excited to see where this can go. And obviously, with the way the world is and the way the hockey landscape is, I think there's going to be more eyes on this. I think there's more intrigue to this game. So it's exciting. It's going to be like a rivalry. It's not going to be like an exhibition game. It's going to be like a Four Nations game where Canada, USA was complete riot. Like, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. And I think that's the best interest for the fans, the consumer. I mean, that's all you want. So I'm excited to see. And obviously, you can't tell a kid to go half-ass. So I'm excited to see what it can be. You're going to play in front of you're gonna really see the outcome. Like, you're gonna see the effort there, and I'm excited for that. Like, they're gonna be playing a lot of scouts, right? So it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Also, 4 OHLers included in TSN's preseason rankings for the 2026 NHL Draft, led by Ryan Robrick. Not surprised there at number 4. Ethan Belchess of the Windsor Spitfires, number 5. Then you get Chase Reed, number 10 of the Sioux Greyhounds. And then import forward, Adam Novotny, number 12, rounds out the OHL representation. So, Colin, again, number 1, 2, Robrick and Belchess. Not really surprised by either of those two young men. Windsor Spitfires going to be near the top of the conference in the West. And then the Niagara Ice Dogs, I've got them winning the division. He's going to be looked upon again to get a lot of points, to score a lot of big goals. And if Kevin He passes like he does with the Winnipeg Jets, then that total is going to rise for Ryan Robrick. And Ice Dogs fans are, they get a treat, you could say, with Robrick having the late birthday and getting that extra year before he gets drafted into the NHL. So those two guys, I mean, I don't know how much we could really say. They've got the size, they've got the talent, they've got great puck smarts, and they're going to be looked upon heavily on each club to provide offense.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, they're going to have high offensive roles for sure on their clubs. I mean, they're dependent on every single night, right? Every night, those guys are, if their teams are going to be successful, their individual success is huge to their team success. So I think these two guys, I mean, Belchez and Windsor, they're kind of different players, right? And I mean, hey, you saw Robrick mix it up a little bit, I guess, too. But Belchez is the big power forward who's going to drive to the middle of the ice. Robrick's that guy who's going to be really good out on the perimeter, high effective in the scoring areas, obviously, with that release that he has. He's not afraid of the rough stuff. So it's cool. It's going to be nice to see those two guys. I mean, I think that Chase Reed's really going to work his way up the draft board throughout the year. He's going to be the guy riding all the minutes in Sioux. I think that with Chase Reed, he's a guy that anyone watching the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds last season and so far here in the early season, they've fallen in love with. He's a guy that plays all the roles at all aspects of the game he has. Unbelievable. And he's Sioux's best defender. He's also Sioux's best offensive defenseman as well. So when you have a guy like that who can log a lot of minutes, so good on both ends, you got to be excited for him. I mean, you look at him being like the future stud here in the league. Like, he's got a little bit of mean streak too. He can hit a little bit. He engages physically, which is huge to see that. So I'm excited to see, like, I'm really pumped to see what Chase Reed can do in the draft. I think that with Reed, I mean, who doesn't like a defenseman who's incredible both ways, right? That's so eye candy to scouts.
Yep, absolutely. I'm with you on that. In terms of headlines, Colin, did I miss anything? Do you have anything to go over here before we head on to FloHockey?
The trade between Flint and Niagara.
Yep.
Yes.
They're returning.
Great point. We always miss something. Always.
So I have a question.
You're never gonna miss Niagara stuff when I'm around.
Very true.
Thanks, Al's brother.
Shout out to Al's brother. No, we got to get a name. Al's brother's taken already.
We do. Yeah, no, we need a name.
What the heck, Brandon, you need a sibling.
I think.
That's tough.
Hey, Brandon, did they move his stall at all? Did they still have his stall? Does he have the same stall in the dressing room in Niagara? Because that'd be
wild.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I have to ask about that.
All right.
Thank you,
Brandon, on the case for us. But here's how the trade reads. It was Hayden Reed, Artem Frolov, and Brampton's 8th rounder in 2026 heading to Niagara for Charlie Hotless, Niagara's 6th in 2026, North Bay's 4th in 2027, and Peterborough's 3rd in 2028. Shout out to Josh Sweetland, because he might have had one of the biggest tweets of the year, kind of explaining the whole sending these guys back to where they came from. And it's probably a really bad way to put that. But if I'm not mistaken, it's 13 months that you have to not trade somebody back to the team that you acquired him from. So Josh Sweetland, shout out to him for that. There has to be 13 months between trades if you're going to send the same guy back. So that's cool. I didn't know that. Existed. So again, shout out to Josh for that. But Colin, what do you make of this?
I like the trade for both sides. I mean, Reed had a big impact right away on Sunday for the Ice Dogs. The first Ryerson Edgar goal, Reed's forecheck there to force the turnover is what you're going to get from him. That was textbook, but I haven't saw an Ice Dog forward make a forecheck like that in probably 7 years. That was cool to see. The impact he has in the forecheck to create space for his teammates is going to be second to none on that team. I mean, I love that part of the ad. I don't think he's the main focal point of the ad, but he's an effective player for them. He was a high round pick for them. Getting him back's huge. They kind of got that core back together. Now from that draft, accidentally got him back, or I guess purposely accidentally got him back. Traded them originally, then they got him back. So obviously wanted them both ways. But no, I love that impact already. Right away, you're already seeing it pay off on the first Edgar goal on Sunday when he's hard on the forecheck, forces the turnover, and boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Hotels, right? His nickname, Brandon, Hotless, Hotels.
Yep, Chuck Hotels.
Chuck Hotels. I heard that on the bus last year when I filled in for those games. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Hotless, it's close enough. We'll say that. But Brandon, if you don't mind just staying on with us here for a second, what are the Flint Firebirds getting in Charlie Hotless?
A hard worker. He's a guy that he was one of those guys that wasn't in the lineup much last year, but he didn't complain about it. He just waited around for his opportunity, practiced hard, and when he got in the lineup, he did whatever they asked him to do as a fourth line player. Just go in there on the forecheck, play hard, play your role well, and just know that, like, as a young player, you're going to earn those opportunities eventually when you go into your second and third year. So Hollis is a guy I think that was ready to take a step forward, but Niagara having so much new blood on the forward group with GM Frankie Vola bringing in all those new guys that he kind of got lost in the shuffle, lost in the fold, and maybe Flint also valued him as a part of this trade and, brought him in. But I do like what Hot List brings. We'll see what he does with a bigger opportunity, actually getting to play in the lineup for possibly a whole season.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And that's what makes that Junior B or the GOJHL, I guess it's Junior B, agreement so much better, right? Is, of course, the better access to players, right? But yeah, you have an opportunity to play. And I'm curious what Hot List would have done with an opportunity if he was on a squad that was in a lower league.
He was signed with lower league. He was signed with the North York Rangers in the OHL, and then got the call up early on in the season. But again, he's a big body, and it took him a little bit of time to get used to the speed at this level. I think that's one thing that he had to adjust to. But
well, that's all right. I just wish the card thing would change with the agreement. That's the only thing I have on the development with the GO. I wish there'd be more access on players able to play without cards and without all that coming in. I wish it was easier. I wish it was more like the no, I know it can't be, but I wish it was more like the AHL NHL agreement where it's on the line. If you have a card, it's like that, but it's exciting for sure.
Yeah, so that original trade, August 19th, 2024, part of the Tristan Bertucci deal between Flint and Niagara. And then exactly 13 months later, this happens, September 19th, 2025. So again, it's Reed and Frolov, along with a Brampton 8th rounder, this upcoming OHL priority selection to Niagara for Charlie Hotless. A Niagara 6th in 2026, North Bay's 4th in 2027, and Peterborough's 3rd in 2028. And moving on to Flo, and speaking of FloHockey, Friday night face-off this week coming up on the 26th. It is the Oshawa Generals visiting the Guelph Storm. Of course, you can catch that on all social media platforms. That's X, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, streaming on FloHockey as well. So that leads us into that FloHockey discussion, Colin. And, we saw some things out east, and we don't have this choice in the Ontario Hockey League where we can have both audios. And it's a little different the way the Ontario Hockey League does it compared to the WHL and compared to the Q, where it's really just you've got two radio broadcasts out east and out west, and it's simulcast with video for all the viewers. The Ontario Hockey League, minus Erie, Flint, and Saginaw, and I guess Brantford, you've got a television broadcast team, and depending on the team, you've got two radio broadcasts. So in Ontario, you've got the TV broadcast audio option. That's it. Whereas out east, it sounds like they've got the option for both, where you can choose the visiting broadcast or the home broadcast audio. And that Moncton, Newfoundland game was a heck of a hockey game. What was that? 7-5, I think it was. It finished. Yeah. So, but issues with the audio at 50-50. What was it? $37,000?
Yeah.
For a 50-50? Like,
that's wild.
Bro. Too bad we can't buy tickets for that. I would have bought tickets for the next game. But that little technical issue, getting both audio feeds, one wasn't more dominant than the other, so you had to listen to two guys talk over each other, and that's not ideal. And then this may be out of FloHockey's control. We're not 100% sure, but at least with the Brantford highlights, it seemed like it was fuzzy and a little blurry. And again, whether that's a Rogers issue, whether that's a FloHockey issue, we don't know. It could be Rogers, and Flo's got nothing to do with it. But, and then in Brampton, I think there were issues throughout the entire first period. And again, that could be a Brampton issue. It might not be a FloHockey issue. We're not 100% sure. But I think the main one for me was that combining audio out east, where it's like, it's nice to have the option, but if you're going to hear both at the same time, that's not ideal. And, you'd rather just at least have one where it's clear you're not trying to fight over somebody else than to have the option for two. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm a grumpy old guy that complains, even though I'm 27 years old.
Well, you want the best product, right? And is that the best? Yeah. Is that the best possible product you can consume? No. So I think I agree with you on that. Like you want it to be right. That's one thing, right? I was excited for the broadcast to have the luxury. Obviously, that's not the case. And we knew that, but with the Q, that's one thing that you you really hope gets fixed. I know the AHL, it used to be you click on it and there was none of that. So it'll be interesting to see, something to watch for anyone from the Q watching, or anyone that watches the Q here in Ontario. It'd be interesting to see how that comes about. I'm sure that's something, though, that the engineers at FloHockey will be on right away, and production in-house for sure, whatever they can do in there. I'm sure they'll be on that right away.
Yeah, it's week 1. You know, it's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. It better happen now than in the playoffs.
And hey,
we get to a conference final and you have to fight with audio. Yeah, that's not ideal. So you're right.
Yeah.
Better it happens now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I just want to mention this too. I know we mentioned FloHockey and it's a new thing. I just want to mention the video review. Obviously, Peterborough the other night in the first game, no video review in-house, but I want to mention to the arena staff who had to scramble to put up the new video review systems in arenas. Congratulations to you guys. That was no easy feat. You get I know, for instance, on the Brantford standpoint, you get the box delivered to you of cameras, and it's like, here you go, install it where we tell you to. And it's all up to the engineers in the building and people to do that, or the electricians, to do that. So that was, that's really cool that they were able to accomplish that in most arenas, because that was hard to do it last minute like that. So congrats to the arena staff around the Ontario Hockey League for being able to get those out as well. That kind of goes hand in hand with FloHockey with the video and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So no, it's hard. Like, I know I have one buddy I played ball with that does it in Brantford, and he makes it look easy, but it's not that easy. So
yeah.
But week 1, FloHockey, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. It's no big, no big deal. All right. Also announced on Monday, Players of the Week honors around the Ontario Hockey League. We're going to start with the Player of the Week. From the Windsor Spitfires, it's Cole Davis. 2 games for him. He scored 4 times. He had 2 assists for 6 points total. He was a +6 as well. The Spitfires with a pair of victories. They defeated the Sarnia Sting in very large fashion. 8-1 was the final score in that one on their opening game of the season. And then they defeated the London Knights 4-1 on Saturday. Despite a lengthy glass delay, Spitfire fans getting a little rowdy behind the London bench. Dale Hunter got an unwanted glass shower. But Cole Davis, hell of a weekend. 6 points in 2 games to kick off your season. Yeah, that'll play. That'll earn you a spot in the lineup next week.
100%. Cole Davis, I was thinking if we recorded before this is announced or whatever, I was thinking Cole Davis needs a shout out. A +6 in 2 games, 6 points in 2 games is incredible. That's hard to do. You got to talk about a dream start to the year. The shorthanded capabilities too that he showcased before, leading up to the glass shower in Windsor on his goal. The speed, you see the improvement in his game. I think he's an underrated part of this Windsor team. I think his role is going to be intriguing to watch for this Windsor team and see what Greg Walters does with Cole Davis, because he's almost like a Swiss Army knife, in that lineup. He's good anywhere. So I'm excited to see what Davis can do in that top pairing for them up front in Windsor. But and I'm also glad Dale Hunter's okay. That looked like a scary scene.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's the first time. He probably got a few glass showers when he played, but thank God he's okay. Thank God he's okay. The all-time winningest coach goes down like that. You don't want to see that. So thank God he's okay. Man. But probably got a few of those when he was a player.
Yeah. Well, man, I talk about incidents happening at the WFCU Center. I still remember this was either probably within the first 2-3 years. It might have even been the first season at the WFCU Center where the visiting team had left the door open where they go to the locker room or where they come out of the locker room.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know it? The one time it's left open, a puck goes flying through that door and catches a fan in the eye. And I can't confirm what the result of that was. I heard some things that I'm not going to share on here, but when I saw that, I'm like, geez, that reminds me a lot of when a puck went flying through the doors and what made them put a sign that said door must stay closed at all times during play. So that's a little scary. Nice to see Dale Hunter rebound from that. Unfortunately, his team couldn't get the dub, but as per usual, the London Knights without a lot of talent early on in the season. So that'll be part of Overreaction Tuesday to wrap up the show. So make sure you stick around for that. Moving on to goaltender of the week, and it's like we've seen this before, Colin, a Kitchener Ranger winning goalie of the week. How many times did we see that last year?
Jackson Parsons.
But it's Jason Schabel this year with Jackson Parsons obviously aging out. So Schabel gets it done, and his team goes down 3-0 to the Brantford Bulldogs, and then a fourth one couldn't go in, or else Kitchener's not winning that game. Fourth one couldn't have gone in, and Schabel shut the door after 3, and he allowed his team to, albeit it took till the third period, but the Kitchener Rangers got their legs under them. They found a way to get one past Korovic, and then they found their way back. They forced overtime, and then they won it 4-3 in the extra frame. So Schabel 2-0 on the weekend. Goals against average just under 2 at 1.99. That save percentage at .938. And Colin, again, you were in the building for that game against the Bulldogs. What did you see from Schabel in that one?
First period, he did make a couple saves to keep them in the game, but I kind of thought, like he dialed it in when he had to be sharp. He had to be sharp after being down 3. Like you mentioned, you can't get down 4. You get down 4, it's a different story. And I think that with Schabel, with the capabilities here, he just dialed it in. Sometimes you're going to start off a game and you're not going to feel good. Then all of a sudden you're going to find it, right? You got to settle in. And I think you do have to settle in a situation like that. It's the first time the lights are on. You got the extra spotlights on. You got the introduction. It's opening night. You got the advertisements on the boards. It's opening night. And maybe it's a little fast for him at the start. And then once he settled in, he was great. He was perfect after he settled in. Yeah. And I thought that he's a big goaltender who's smooth. He doesn't overmove. He's technically sound. He doesn't overcommit to things. He looked very smooth on Friday night, and obviously going to Saturday too, getting the start the next night. Just really carry on where he left off from the night before, which is kind of a good thing for a goaltender, right? To go off and get that next night as well. Allows you to get some confidence early, and that's huge for them in Schabel.
Yeah, especially because it was a divisional matchup the next night against the Erie Otters. So big
time.
That's even bigger for sure.
You'll take a division win in September as much as you'll take it in March. They're big. They're big looking back at it, especially for Kitchener this year, who has their sights on the top spot in the Midwest.
Yeah. Rookie of the week in the Ontario Hockey League. It's Thomas Vandenberg. 1 game for him. 3 goals and an assist.
Welcome to
your spot for weekend number 2, young man. +3 for Thomas Vandenberg. The Ottawa 67s took care of business, I guess is the best way to put it, in Kingston. Close enough, I guess. His OHL debut Friday night in Kingston. That's usually a big game when the 67s are in Kingston or the Frontenacs go to Ottawa, right? It's one of those rivalries out east, much like Peterborough and Oshawa, where his teams don't necessarily like each other very much. So that's especially on the road for him too, right? Yeah. That's a 6-2 win for the 67s on the road in Kingston. And to have a performance like that for Vandenberg against your biggest rival in the league, welcome to the OHL. You're a fan favorite already because you did that to the Kingston Frontenacs. It's big, obviously, no matter what team it's against. But for 67s fans, against the Kingston Frontenacs feels a little bit better.
Yeah, and he already had a lot of intrigue on him, right? 5th round pick, makes a team in 2025. You're there's a lot of intrigue to him, how he makes the team this year. Young player in the league, first year, obviously. Having your first game like that's huge. Being able to come up and perform like that is massive for your confidence. I think that's what you're asking for earlier. If you're a player early on in the year, you just want to feel good, right? And how do you feel good? You perform. Yeah. And having a performance like that definitely makes you feel good. And hope it'll be fun to see what his confidence level is throughout the stretch here. It'll be fun to see what the next game's like. You get excited to go to the rink, right, when you're successful. So personal success leads to always leads to team success. So it'll be exciting to see what Ottawa can do with Vandenberg, because he's definitely looked really good for them so far for Ottawa.
Yeah. And then this is a new one. The OHL Prospect of the Week. I love this.
Yeah.
From the GOJHL, Yamara Sugar Kings. It's Brendan Gerber. 4 games. Listen to this stat line. Not a bad name, eh? Pretty good. Yeah, all name team. Gotta be. Brendan Gerber in 4 games. Scored 3 goals. Yeah, that's pretty good. 8 assists. So 11 points in 4 games for the Elmira Sugar Kings. You could easily put them in the all jersey contest as well. I've always loved the Sugar Kings uniforms.
Sharp.
But he's prospect of the week, and that looks like another talented London Knight to be come the future. That's like I said, that's one heck of a week. It's going to be tough to match that, but 3, 8, and 11, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, Gerber's always found a way to get points, especially back when he's playing at Waterloo with Brady Martin in their draft years. I mean, Gerber's one of those guys. Everywhere he goes, he gets points. I'm honestly surprised that he wasn't a guy that made the Knights or had a longer look with the Knights. He's got to be one of the guys up because
I would think so.
He always gets points every year. You look at him, you hear his name, he gets points. Last year, he got called up for the Knights a little bit. You saw him in Elmira. You saw him in the Geo last year, get a few points. Wherever he is, he gets points.
115 points in 93 career games in Junior B.
Yeah, like he always gets points. I don't know why this guy hasn't gotten a bigger shot at the next level at the OHL. Yeah. He's deserving. He's deserving so. It's obviously we can't speak for general managers, but I wonder if London gets calls on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he's 18, still got some term.
Yeah, you would think though, right? Like 18, it's kind of that role where when are you going to get your chance? You deserve an opportunity at 18. You put up all the numbers in the Geo. He deserves a chance to play in the O. When and where? Is it in London? That's what we're gonna find out, because I'm sure they get a lot of calls.
Yeah. Yeah, again, maybe it's just that guy that they want to wait an extra year and have him for his last 2 eligible years in the OHL for when he's
be patient.
Could be, who knows? But I mean, if you're putting up those numbers,
deserve
for sure. People are going to notice. People are going to want to say, hey, is he a part of your plans, or can we make him part of our plans? So I love this. Part of the partnership with the GOJHL to have prospect of the week. I'm pumped for this. This is going to be fun to see this. So let's get to some arenas before we hit the break. We're already 35 minutes in, so the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Yeah, we're it's a hardworking show. I think that's gonna be the title of this episode. The
dynamic, hardworking.
The dynamic, hardworking folks of the OHL, and said that's too long. We'll figure it out later. But the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium, the renovation that they did, Colin, you got to see it on opening night. There was a media walkthrough that took place as well prior to the season getting underway too. Just your thoughts on it, Colin. You said it's not the most ideal spot for a media room. However, the lack of good location is made up for by the design and by all the elements of that media room.
Yeah, I know you guys, I know Reece, yourself, and Brandon, you guys are going to know this, but I was bugging Farwell for not doing a video yet of the media room on Friday
that's
night.
Pretty bad, eh? That's like... Come on, Mike. Got to be better here. Let's go.
It's game one.
No. It's not like you have a game to focus on or any. Oh, wait, right.
Prep.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give him a pass.
It's always great to see Farwell and obviously Josh Brown as well. Those guys are great. Big impact on us. Always great to talk to those guys. Really enjoy it. Ultimate professionals. But they're lucky to have these digs. This new media room, boys. I'm telling you. So it's in a weird spot, Reece. I've already explained it to you off air, but Brandon.
Oh, and I know exactly where it is. As soon as you described it, I go, yep, that's where I always used to walk up. You'd get the peanut cart or the corn nut cart or whatever that was.
To the left of that.
Yep.
That wall there. I think was it a washroom before or something? Like the wall?
Oh, God, I don't know. I have no idea what it used to be before.
That's going to be a restaurant. It's under construction currently still, but that's going to be a restaurant when you come up the stairs. That's going to be a restaurant. And then tucked in to the right behind in the little corner is the media room, the Don Cameron media room, that is. And we have to mention Don Cameron, the great Don Cameron. I know, Reece, you have a ton of stories to mention about Don Cameron, the impact he had on yourself in Kitchener. When you
we're gonna tell one after you're done. We're gonna go through one after we're done. Oh yeah.
So it's a trek, obviously, from the press box, sponsored by downtown Waterloo location press box. And that walk, it's a long walk for some. It's a long walk for some. Media, bring your water bottles and grab an extra one on the way out. It's a sweat and buckets. when it's hot,
Is this
when
your
it's
way of
humid.
telling us that you needed oxygen after walking there?
No, I was okay.
All right, okay.
But
All right.
it's a great spot. You go in there, and right away you see on the wall above the food, you see on the wall every single logo's in like a 3D silver image of every logo in the Ontario Hockey League, every team's logo. And I thought that was incredible right away. And then on the opposite wall, the Don Cameron exhibits are pretty neat. Like the things about the Rangers and Don Cameron's impact. That's incredible to actually, remember we talked about that before, that, you know, we saw the wall in the previous media room, but it's cool to actually have more things on Don Cameron.
Yeah.
When you go to Kitchener, you see the presence, and that's cool. And that's just when you walk into the media room. The media room, for those in the media, is not as big as the old one. It's pretty small, so get there early, but really good setup for post games. I don't think coaches are going to like that, especially visiting coaches. Reece, as you know, that trek's going to be a long walk from the visiting booth, or from the visit. Well, I guess it's probably halfway, but it's going to be a lot hard for the visiting team in Kitchener. Picture Dale Hunter walking through the concourse right after a game to get to the press conference in the conference final. That might be interesting to see in Kitchener, but that's kind of what it's going to be. I would
Beef
imagine
up security.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of security there, especially when everyone's going down the stairs. You gotta go through everybody. It's gonna be tough. But I assume that's where the post games are gonna be. They have the studio lights up. It'd be a great spot to record a podcast. I mean, they got the couches there, they got the studio lights. I mean, that's a dream. I was bugging the Brantford guys for us in Brantford to get a couches like that to record the podcast and for the audio network in the new arena in Brantford, because they got to take notes from that. But really, really cool spot. And my felony thing was I was going to take the Bulldogs logo. I want it. If that ever comes for sale, I want it. That I got to wait a long, long time, but I want that so bad. They did an incredible job. I like when teams do things like this and they take every single small detail into account. That's how you get a perfect project. I never got perfect projects in school, so I'm probably the wrong guy to go to how to build a media room. But whoever designed the media room did an incredible job. Shout out to those guys. They did good. I love it. It's small, and make sure your laptops are charged before you go in there. It's a hard place to find an outlet right now. So make sure it's charged. Brandon, it's an update for you when Niagara goes there. Make sure your laptop's charged before going into the media room, and be ready to get the walk, because once you get there, it's worth it. It's incredible. They did a really good job there.
Yeah. So every time we bring up Don Cameron this year, I should give a story, because I feel like we gotta. So it doesn't directly involve Don Cameron, this one, but when I used to live in Cambridge at my grandparents' house just for that brief time, our neighbor had season tickets to the Kitchener Rangers. And this was back before they had, might have been after too. I don't know. Either way, he would always buy the tickets. Like, his season tickets were always the last row in the arena. So I don't know, are OHL barns considered to have nosebleed seats? Maybe London. That's maybe the one end in Windsor, the one end in Peterborough. But other than that, there's not really nosebleed seats, I guess. So again, just the last row in the arena. And again, this is, I think it's pre and post edition with the blue section of the seats. So he would always buy his seats last row right in front of the radio booth where Don Cameron would do the broadcast. And I'm sure people have seen this around a bunch of arenas everywhere. But he would bring his mini radio along with headphones and listen to Don Cameron while he was at the arena, getting the whole spectacle, the smell of the nuts walking in, the history behind the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. But he would have Don Cameron calling the game while he was watching it in the arena. And we were always the last ones to leave, because we could not leave until the post-game show was over and Don Cameron had signed off for the night. So,
that's awesome.
I mean, and again, at that point, I'm a stupid kid. I didn't have a ton of interest to do anything in media or broadcasting. I think at that age, I wanted to drive trains. I still kind of do, because
we all do. Trains are sick.
They're awesome. Thomas and Tank Engine kid right here.
Me too. Hey, same here. I got on the train once in St. Thomas.
Oh yeah. Love that.
I
still got
in
two
the
big
circle.
bins of Thomas stuff. They're like, I don't know. I don't want to lift my laptop up, but they're pretty big. Like,
Yeah,
and they're
same
the old
here.
wood ones. They're not the crappy metal ones they got now. So it's the old wood. Oh yeah.
You
It's
need
solid,
the old wood.
so-
The new ones are brutal. Kids aren't experiencing the joy that
No.
we did.
No, plus the TV show sucks. It's all cartoony and animated. Like the old, who needs the mouths to move? Like, come on. But yeah. So like I said, I had no interest to do anything in media or TV or radio or whatever. But that, like, I didn't appreciate it at that point. But right now I kind of wish I did, not understanding who actually was talking behind us and doing a post-game show, analyzing a hockey game, being the voice of the Kitchener Rangers. So that's my Don Cameron story for today. Is we were and Ushers tried to kick us out a few times. Like, there were a few times where my grandparents' neighbor was like, no, you just got 5 minutes left in the post-game show. I'm finishing listening. So that was pretty cool to see. But it had to be the Don Cameron media room. Had to be. We had talked about it on the Dogcast on the Bulldogs Audio Network on this week's show that Don Cameron Media Award, we're going to sign the petition whenever that comes up. So if it ever comes up, we're all for it. So shout out to Don Cameron, because I've got a few of them. I've got a few stories, and as every time he comes up, I'm going to tell one. So we'll get that going. But switching gears to another historic building, the Peterborough Memorial Center, not up to par. And it sounds like teams are knocking at the door to come into the Ontario Hockey League. Not to say Peterborough is going to lose a franchise, but they need a new barn. The Peterborough Memorial Center's got a ton of history. There's a lot that's happened in the history of the OHL there. But square boards can't happen. That they've got to go.
It's like benches on opposite
radio
side.
booth. Yeah, the benches on the opposite side got to go. Sudbury, if you're listening. The visiting radio booth is terrible. You couldn't have put it in a worse spot. It is so bad. You're in the blue line of the Pete's zone twice. You
That's
have
tough.
to lean over the glass and try to avoid fans to see the far end of the rink. And then, like, media room, one of the nicest media rooms, I will say, in the media rooms and press boxes in the OHL. I love it, but it's at one end of the rink. They've got a great setup there. The chairs are comfortable. It is a decent view, but it's 2025. It's time to upgrade. The scoreboard obviously was a nice addition for the Peterborough Petes to upgrade that, but I think it's time. I think it's time for a new barn.
Yeah, it's sad to see in certain occasions, just because the Pete's organization and the PMC are so, it's iconic, right? It's one of the most iconic organizations across in the CHL.
Yeah.
But yeah, every arena has a shelf life, right? Everything comes and goes. And hopefully for the Petes, they figure out the best option for them. But Peterborough's gonna be the Petes forever.
Yeah.
It's a staple. So I'm really excited though to see what can happen in Peterborough with a new arena and things like that to the city of Peterborough, because they deserve it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Ward, do you want to skip the break?
I'm gonna go. We got like 13
right
minutes
now.
Yeah, no, we're flowing.
So,
we're flowing. We're dishing it off D to D outlet or like stretch passes.
Hey, man,
for breakaways.
But we're working hard. It's a hard working
dynamic.
Week.
It's a dynamic week. It's a dynamic show. It's been great. Hard working. Title of the episode. Dynamically hardworking.
There you go.
Brandon.
Colin Ward.
Clip it, Brandon.
Save it. All right.
Yep.
So you can see the final three topics we've got there for you. Kitchener or Guelph for the Memorial Cup next season. The Owen Sound attack. They have a goalie issue. They've got a lot of talented netminders. So we'll discuss that afterwards. And then Overreaction Tuesday. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because it is week 1. Well, going into week 2 of the OHL season. Why are we overreacting?
Someone will lose sleep
It's
over
2
the power
games
ranking.
or 1 game. You know,
Mhm.
just to say. But let's start with Kitchener or Guelph, Colin. We've already kind of talked about the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium a little bit, so we're not going to spend a ton of time there. But the history there, you mentioned they're going to put in a restaurant. I feel like all teams have to find some way to see if they can integrate some sort of restaurant. You know, whether it's physically in the arena complex. Brantford has tried to do that with the ringside lounge. Barrie, you've got the full restaurant that I'm pretty sure is open in the summer too. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it's got an outside entrance that it can be. If it isn't, I think I'm right in saying that it is open all year round. But that's cool to see that. You know, the Guelph Storm for sure. They've got that bar. I think if I'm not mistaken, Sarnia's got one, although you might have to have a ticket for the game for that restaurant. Again, don't quote me on that, but
unless you're like Kingston, where you can't walk through.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's
still upset about that. I had my media pass.
Colin Ward's fired up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's cool. And then the Guelph Storm, I mean, probably one of the best located press boxes of all time. It doesn't get any better than that. The vantage point you've got there, Dylan Baker, man, you walked into gold mine in that press box. Like, my goodness, I love that spot.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
You know, it kind of has the same smell as Kitchener does with the roasted or toasted nuts and you know, that old school smell, but a new barn. Love the goal horn. They added the ribbon around the upper level.
It looks sharp.
Stormy dances in the middle of the third period. Although I miss Cotton Eye Joe. I wish they'd bring that back.
Yeah, what's the new song?
Apparently
Golf fans, help me out. What's the new
offensive.
song?
I don't know why, but someone educate me. But I don't know what the new song is. I can't remember.
I know, I forget it. It's like 2-3 years old now. The new song.
Yeah,
that's
what
happens
years.
When the Bulldogs only go there once a year.
Yeah, and it was. It's been night one a couple of times. No, not night one. We were there for preseason. Never mind. But
3 years ago was night one. I think 3 years ago now. Yeah, first year.
Logan Morrison.
Last year Hamilton. Yeah.
Logan Morrison. Yeah. So I don't know if asking you which one's a better option, but who do you think is going to get it, Wardy? Yeah.
Well,
what team has the edge, I guess, or what bar has the edge?
I think undoubtedly, I think Kitchener has the edge for sure, and it's fitting that these two cities, for the city aspect of it, to be able to square off just makes sense. Just because it's what Kitchener and Guelph do. That's just how it goes there. So it makes sense for those two. I'm definitely leaning toward Kitchener. I think Kitchener for sure has the best odds to get it. I mean, look at the amount of money they put into their renovation. I mean, the odd, what everything it stands for. The one thing is about Guelph, they've also renovated their arena. I'm just interested to see what Guelph does with the mall. The area that the arena's in is great. A lot of parking in Guelph, a lot of parking in the odd.
Yep.
The one
Colin,
thing
we had one of the highlights of the show. I yelled at another driver while we were pulling into the parking garage because he was being an idiot. Man, that's one of the all-time highlights that could never be played or said on here. But oh man,
I just think that with what Guelph is, it's a great spot. They have a lot of restaurants outside toward the downtown part, obviously in the core. But in that mall, I wish there was more there. I wish it was more like, more like, I don't know, you have more like a market, you know, like look at London. Look at the market across the road from London. Can you imagine, like, maybe not that busy, but if they had like a really cool like sports bar that's out there, you know, that would be cool to have to add to that spot. It just needs something in the mall. I don't know, like it could just be me nitpicking, but being around, I love the arena. Like I said, it's one of the best spots to watch a game. But I don't know. I just think the mall itself could use something. I don't know if the arena needs a bigger renovation than the mall itself. That the arena's location's at.
Yeah. You know what? And maybe that was just because of the days we were there, but
true.
There was nothing going on. it was
Mhm.
quiet, fairly empty. You know, I was looking to
There's
get a
no-
coffee at the shop there. That was closed. There might be one restaurant in there, but even that, it didn't seem like there was a ton going on. You know, like maybe a Storm promotion or something, like
Yeah, like a
a
cool
meal
sports
deal,
bar would be
wings
sweet.
and a pint for $15 or whatever it is, or wear your Storm gear and get a free appetizer with the purchase of $20 or something. I don't know, something like that. I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
even remotely capable of running a restaurant, but I don't know, something like that. Like maybe a facelift, I guess is the best way to put it. It's got an old school style feel to it. But it just every time we've been there, it's been a little depressing. There's not much
Yeah.
going on. There's nobody in there. You don't have really any events going on before the Storm game. So yeah, I think if they added something like that, if they made that a little bit more lively, I don't know if that's the right word,
More
but
vibrant.
if they if they had more stuff going on, that might make a difference. I'm with you. I think Kitchener's going to get it as well. The only issue is there is nothing around the Odd. They've
That's
got the best parking by
shuttles.
far. Not even close. The shuttles, I
Yeah.
mean, I loved taking the shuttle from Moose Winooski's at
It's
Sports
gonna
World
have
to the
to-
Rangers game. That was a time.
Yeah,
You know,
the shuttles are going to have
so-
to be a thing.
Yeah, whereas the Sleeman Center's right in the middle of everything. You know, you've got downtown right there. So there's
yeah.
a ton of possibilities right downtown Guelph. For
And it's a good downtown.
You
Guelph's an underrated
have to
city in the
travel.
OHL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Hated going there for baseball, but
me too. Knew it was going to be a long
because
night.
I hate Hastings Stadium with a passion. I hate that
where
part.
the deepest part of the field's like right center.
Man.
More right
Yeah,
or
and
left field. One of the fields. One
where
field,
we
like,
install. Yeah, it's an all wood fence, literally wood. It's hard if you
Playing-
run into it. We're going to
Playing-
install a bullpen phone, but not connect them. That makes sense from the
Yeah.
dugout to the bullpen. Let's just have the phones in the boxes, but not actually a connection. I hate that park with a passion. I'm
Yeah.
sure people can
Oh,
tell, but I love the Sleeman Center. I love that arena.
100%.
So they could
Yeah,
easily get it. They've got a lower capacity. That shouldn't make that big of a difference. Yeah, you're going to lose out on, I don't know what the difference is, 3,000 fans. Might be
But
the
the
difference
QW
between the
game's
Odd and
gonna
the
be full.
Storm. But yeah, exactly. Like Guelph's downtown, whereas Kitchener, yeah, you might have to travel a bit to go somewhere or go out before or after, whatever the case might be. So I'd say that's an advantage. Guelph, it's right in the middle
Yeah.
of town.
downtown. The commute,
Yeah.
for sure. 100% it does.
All right. Next up, we're gonna stay in the Midwest Division. Big Midwest Day. Holy crap! Who would
Yeah.
have thought? The Owen Sound attack. Goalie controversy? Is that
What
a
do
thing
they
in the
do?
OHL? I feel like it isn't.
All
It
the
probably
time.
isn't such a thing. But you've got Trenton Bennett, you've got Matthew Kaprowski, and you've got Carter George. Now, apologies to the Bennett family for not mentioning him last week when we had this discussion originally. Because Kaprowski, he got sent back or released, I guess, from his tryout with St. Louis. So he's coming back to the Owen Sound attack. Carter George still with the LA Kings. You expect them to be there a little bit longer. But those are three guys that
They had the best goalie trio.
are really good. You've got a couple of 06s, and then you've got an 07 in Kaprowski. 6'8" is Bennett. 6'3" Kaprowski, and George is 6'2".
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
Well, two are going to stay. One's going. They got to make a move, and that will only happen if and when George comes back. But what do they do? Like, what on earth do they do? Like, do you trade Kaprowski out and then do you ride George and Bennett? Like, what do you do with it? Right? Like, as soon
Yeah.
George is a
Yep.
franchise, as you see on your screen right now on YouTube. Like, Carter George is their franchise, Owen Sound. He's the face of their team. He's their leader. Honestly, I'm not going to say a goalie being captain, but if a goalie was ever going to be named a captain of a franchise, it would be Carter George. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yep.
Do you, like, they have value on all three goaltenders. All three goaltenders have value. They're all could be starters. They all
Yep.
could be starters. They'll have to make a move if and when Carter George comes back. Carter George looked great on Sunday night for LA. Whatever they plan to do is going to be interesting because they've showcased their capabilities in the Ontario Hockey League. Obviously, Kaprowski's on your screen right now for those on YouTube. I mean, with Kaprowski, I mean, his numbers maybe don't look great from the last couple of years, but he showcased that he can play. He looked good in the prospects game. He's shown what he's capable of doing.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about how important it was for Schabel to keep the game at 3-0 against the Bulldogs. What about Bennett against the London Knights to keep it 2-0? Allow his team to come back and win in overtime.
100% that's huge.
It's one thing to do it
on the
in
road.
front of your home crowd at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. It's another thing to do it on the road at Canada Life Place when they raise the Memorial Cup banner to the rafters. And you come in there and steal a couple of points against the London Knights. Now, Knights got one because it was an overtime game. But you kept it at 2-0 and allowed your team to come back and
100%
win that game. You gave your team a chance to win. And Trenton Bennett had one hell of a night on Friday.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he looked good. It's one of those things, as you mentioned, you got to dial it in when you have to, and he was great when he had to be. And probably if he plays another game on the weekend, he probably gets goalie of the week for his impact he had for Owen Sound.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I just think that to be in the general manager's office at Owen Sound, the possibilities of what you do there is tough. Like that's the hardest situation right now in the OHL. What Owen Sound does with their goaltending, because they have a lot of pieces there. And this is honestly a move where let's say they keep George. If George gets sent back if they keep him and move one of the other two, you might be able to get a good piece for it too, to be able to confidently say you'd have a chance with Carter George in net.
Yeah.
And maybe a forward who can be in your top 6 to possibly battle for home ice. So it's exciting to see the challenges in Owen Sound, but if you make good decisions, this could be a huge thing for Owen Sound.
Yeah. And we had the conversation earlier on today that if it's Kaprowski, the one that's the odd man out, and you look to move him, it's a little more value. I mean, Carter George, most valuable goaltender, I'm sure, on the trade block this year. But, with Kaprowski, at least, you've got an extra year out of him in the Ontario Hockey League, with him being an 07, Bennett and George are 06s. So that's another thing you weigh. Do you go for I don't know if bigger package. Carter George's going to get a pretty good package back to Owen Sound.
It's proven too.
We got to stop saying that. That was starting to sound a little bad. But man, we're going off the rails here. But no, like Carter George is going to be an NHL goaltender within the next 4 or 5 years. There's no question about that. Kaprowski's got that extra year that he could play in the Ontario Hockey League. Trenton Bennett, 6'8". It's hard to find that in a goaltender. A drafted guy would take him by the Devils this past draft in the 3rd round. It's kind of in Owen Sound, you're rich. You're rich in the crease right now with the 3 guys that you have, and if somebody comes with the right package to Owen Sound for Carter George, then I think you do it. Whether it's him, whether it's Kaprowski, for George, it's more than likely a contender that's going to be going for it this year. You think of the Brantfords, although they've got their goaltender, so it's not going to be them. London Knights, I mean, you've got Medvedev, but for whatever reason, they go out and find a veteran and allow Medvedev to be a backup for another year or play 50-50. Although if you're trading for Carter George, you're not probably playing 50-50.
No, you're riding
your
him.
number
He's not coming
2.
back.
Exactly. So the Windsor Spitfires, Costanzo had one heck of a year last year. He's going to come back. Oh, he's already back. But, whereas if it's a Kaprowski move, is it a team that goes for it next year? And we talked about Schabel with Kitchener and a good start to his season.
Yeah.
Is that something there? If Guelph gets the Mem Cup or they start loading up for next year to just go for a championship and try and get there by winning an OHL title, is Kaprowski a guy for them? I mean, they've got Ellsworth there. Jovanovski's also an option for the Guelph Storm. So you have to make that decision.
That'll be a summer decision too, probably for Guelph.
More than likely. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I must be nice to be Owen Sound with your
Lot of luxury.
goaltenders right now. And, and again, goaltending's just part of it. Don't get me wrong. The rest of the team has to perform. The goalie can only give up one. Doesn't make a difference if you don't score anything. You still lose 1-0. So I think there's something to look at there, but also too, like it's you've got their like I said, Owen Sound's pretty rich in the crease right now with the guys they have, and they can do whatever they want. They can hang on to all three. I'm sure all three guys would love to be a starter, and I'm sure that's something they may have had a conversation with the Owen Sound management about, Owen Sound coaching staff about. All goaltenders get to that point. So who knows? Again, we're lucky we don't have to make that decision because that's hard. That's hard. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I mean, as an Owen Sound fan, you're absolutely ecstatic. But so from that, it's time to overreact a little bit. The power rankings, I mean, yeah, we'll go over it. We'll include them in this conversation. Why the heck not? So the power rankings for this week in the Ontario Hockey League, the Brampton Steelheads move up 4 spots to number 16. Peterborough Pete's up 2 spots, number 15. Owen Sound up 2 spots to number 14. Oshawa drops 1. They are 13th. Flint up 1 to 12. Guelph, Sioux, Saginaw do not move. 3 of 4 teams that did not move. So that's 12, 11, and 10. Guelph, Sioux, Saginaw. Kingston moves down 1 to number 8. North Bay up 1 to number 7. Barrie, that other team that did not move, they stay at number 6. London Knights down 1 to number 5. Ice Dogs up 1 to number 4. Bulldogs move down 2 to number 3. 3 out of a possible 4 points. Kitchener and Windsor up 1 spot. They're now 1 and 2. And that's part of the overreaction. Brantford Bulldogs collect 3 out of 4 points, but because of that loss, they drop a couple of spots. London Knights did not win on opening weekend. They drop a spot. They're not in trouble. It's the London Knights. They're not in trouble. This is normal for the London Knights organization early in the season. They know that's part of the job. You develop talent for the next level. And when you get into a spot where you're just pumping out NHL talent, you might not be awesome for a couple of weeks to start the year. But that's okay because we play 68 games for a reason. The regular season goes until the spring. Who really cares how the first 2 weeks go? Because if you're in first place and you start the next season raising 2 championship banners, one in the OHL, one in the Canadian Hockey League, nobody gives a crap how you start. So London Knights, they didn't win. They'll be fine. They will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I mean, the power rankings are kind of irrelevant until 20 games in. It's one of those things where when you look at the rankings, I mean, a team loses once. It's like, well, you're 5th, like you go down to 6th, like
on some teams only played once. So
yeah, like how can you even mark it? Like how can you even mark what it is? Like some teams look bad one night, and the next night they look great. I mean, they're still getting used to the system. That was one of the big takeaways from the weekend. I mean, you see teams that had really good camps, and it showed with their systems and where they're at. Then you see some teams where you can tell what system. Echoes and crickets sounds there, but that was it's one of those things. Fan engagement is what it is. But I would say the top 2 teams are right. Windsor, Kitchener were the top 2 teams this weekend, without a doubt. And they deserve to be there. The rest, honestly, from 3 to 20, I mean, it could be anyone. Like, it really could. North Bay looked good this weekend. Niagara had a big win, bounce back win on Sunday after dropping a tough one on Friday night. There's a lot of games on there where teams look great, teams look okay, and like Peterborough looked pretty good on Thursday night, but Saturday they didn't look great. It looked like they wanted to be in a UFC fight. So, like it's so early yet for the power rankings, but it's definitely fun for the fans. There's gonna be someone not sleeping tonight.
Well,
and throughout the week until next week's power rankings because they're not ranked or they're not ranked where they want them to be on the power rankings. So it's always fun to see how people react to them. It's good on the OHL for doing it for fan engagement.
Well, and that's their job. That's the job of the communications department. That's the job of the social media department, is to engage with fans around the Ontario Hockey League, and that's what the power rankings does. So from that standpoint, you completely understand why they do it, and you completely understand why the Canadian Hockey League does their top 10 as well. It's just to engage with the fans, get the conversation going about this upcoming week of action, and Talk about great bounce backs. Kingston Frontenac's look terrible on home ice, but then they fall down 2-0 to Oshawa, score the next 5, and win 5-2 in Oshawa in their trademark 6:00 game on Sunday. So, by the way, shout out to Jimmy Gilchrist in fine form to start the year. Listen to that one on Kingston's radio while I was at work on Sunday. So, shout out to Jimmy G, one of the best to ever do it. And Kingston Frontenac's got in the win column this year after a come from behind win after falling down 2-0 to the Generals. So, that's Overreaction week number 1. We're going to do this a couple more times throughout the first couple of months of the season. So sit back and enjoy it. We're only 1 week in, Wardy, and we've already gotten fired up before the show. I mean,
last week I almost died.
Huh?
I got a lot of feedback from my aggressive approach there, my excitement level, from a few listeners. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking in on me too. Appreciate that. I'm good. That's just another hour. That probably happens once an hour when a touchy subject comes up with me. So welcome to the life.
Denver Broncos.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, I would rather lose. I would rather lose like how the Falcons did than lose like that any day of the week. Back-to-back weeks, man. Like, you might as well just give them the ball in the 30 and get it over with, and then we'll just get, like, at least you don't have to wait till the last second and watch them make the easy field goal.
Yeah.
Now, trivia question for Brandon in the booth. Who won the national championship last year?
Now. Oh, my God.
What's that, sir?
All of the fans watching this are scowling at me for even bringing it up.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, Reece, how dare you? Why would you do that?
We just opened it up. But, hey, also, I just want to say one thing before I go to next week. The Blue Jays are not winning a playoff game this year. So mark that. The Blue Jays would get swept or will get swept by a team that can literally not defend my U16 team when I played in the New York Yankees, and the Blue Jays are still not going to win a game. Mark it. Clip that, Brandon.
Well,
hope you sleep good tonight.
Well, Wardy, Yankees over the Blue Jays in 5.
3.
Wow, it's going 5? Holy crap.
Yeah, wow. You nervous or something? You're not winning.
Yeah, but
celebrate making the playoffs.
Wardy, look at the silver thing. Jose Barrios is in the bullpen. He can't be taken out with a very small amount of pitches in a playoff.
He gets to come in the fourth inning. He gets to come in now in the fourth inning. Switch role. He'll come in for Scherzer after he can't get through one, but we'll still celebrate just making the playoffs because that's such a Toronto thing. There's a reason why you can only cheer for one Toronto team before you go crazy. Because I thank God every day I cheer for the Detroit Red Wings, the Denver Broncos, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. I thank every day because, oh my gosh, the delusion.
Well,
every day they're going to win the Stanley Cup. They're going to win the World Series. They're celebrating after just making the playoffs. It's all good. It's all good. Who cares about winning? I just want to make the playoffs. I don't care about getting swept 3 straight. They'll probably play on a Tuesday and have Looney Dog night. It'll be great. It'll be great. That's probably the night they'll get swept on by the Yankees. The night they get swept, they'll probably be Looney Dog night. It'll be great. Who cares about home field advantage? Who cares about the American League that they've only done once in the last 20 years, 30 years? They've only done it once. Who cares? Like, that's why you will never see the Denver Broncos celebrate unless they win the Super Bowl. They won the AFC Championship, and Peyton Manning, it's like, oh, let's go. We still got another game to play. You know, the Red Wings win the Stanley Cup. Oh, we'll win again the next year. Like, come on.
So
it drives me crazy.
Fans, I'm sorry for this. I totally started this. I'll take this one. Yeah, you can chirp me. I'll take this one.
Hey, I'm staying hot with the streaks. Get your sweater below on YouTube. Help me out. Help us out. Get your sweater below. It's Colin, for the stress.
I don't think it's a flex, though, to say you're a fan of the Broncos, Red Wings, and Ohio State, because the Broncos and Red Wings have won SFA in the last decade.
No kidding.
Ohio State,
what an natty.
Shout out to the Big Ten. Bleep the SEC.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I saw that. I showed you the tweet the other day. Michigan ended Alabama. Ohio State ended Clemson. And get this, for Brandon. Who did Ohio State end as well the last 2 games? Horns down. Texas. All right. I'm good.
Fans, that'll do it for us on this episode of the OHL 60 podcast. The crickets are out, which
Go
means it's time
OHL.
to go. It's kind of
less
like
stressful.
the music that play at like the Emmys or the Oscars where you've said enough, it's time to go. We're at that point right now on our second episode of the OHL and 60 podcast for the new year. So we hope everyone enjoyed opening weekend. We hope you enjoy it this coming week. We're going to be all over it for week number 2 of the Ontario Hockey League season. We know all of you will be. So enjoy it, and we will chat again in 7 days.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.